Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an itinerant minister, an author, an addiction recovery coach, life coach, and the host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today radio show. You can see a video version of this if you go to YouTube under channel Take Your Life Back Today show. Folks, yes. The answer is yes. God answers prayers. In troubling circumstances, some may sneer at prayer. When tragedy hits, some contend that prayer is a useless response when we could be taking action. Well, friends, in actuality, prayer is a powerful thing. Sure, we may take other actions and do what we can, but through prayer, we call on all-powerful God. Someone wisely once said, when your knees are knocking, kneel on them. That's good advice, isn't it? Yet, in the midst of the trials, we might worry, will God answer my prayer, you might ask? Is this going to work? Well, let me tell you, in Acts 12, we find a story about a powerful prayer and how powerful prayer can be. Things looked bleak, but prayer turned the entire situation around. This story not only encourages us with a wonderful example of answered prayer, but also provides us with 4 principles we can apply in our own lives to help us keep praying in overwhelming conditions. So, number 1, we need to offer our prayers to God. Verse 5 tells us, Peter was therefore kept in prison, but constant prayer was offered to God for him by the church. Did you know that not all prayer is offered to God? A number of studies in recent years have found that people who pray seem to have fewer problems in life, less stress, and lower blood pressure. It was even found in hospital situations that a person who was being prayed for seemed to have a more rapid recovery than people who had not been the recipients of any prayers whatsoever. So the question lies here. Who were these people praying? Who were they praying to? Prayer itself is not the answer. God is the answer. Prayer is the vehicle by which we reach God. We don't need to be looking to prayer. We need to be looking to God through our prayers. Offer your prayers to God. He hears them as soon as you start praying. Number 2 is we need to pray with passion. The phrase constant prayer could be translated earnest prayer or stretched outwardly. Have you ever dropped your car keys in a little spot between the seat and the center console? They are just beyond your reach and you strain to try to get them. This is the idea here. They reached out to God. They put everything into it. Another way to translate this phrase is they prayed with agony. This was not a flamboyant kind of prayer. This was a storm the throne of God kind of prayer. There's a place for emotion in prayer. There's a place for cries and sighs. God promises that we will find him when we search for him with all our heart. And you can go to Jeremiah 29:13. That is how we need to pray. Number 3 is we need to pray with persistence. Jesus said, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. You can find that in Luke 11:9. A better way to translate that would be keep asking, keep seeking, and keep knocking. So is Jesus saying here that God is really busy, so we had better hug him until he answers our prayers? Nothing could be further from the truth. Sometimes when God doesn't give us what we want, we say that God didn't answer our prayer. I would say that he did, because no is as much as an answer as yes is. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes God says go, sometimes God says slow, sometimes God says grow. So we need to keep praying and not give up. We need to keep going forward. Number 4 on my list is we need to pray together. Remember, constant prayer was offered to God for him. Peter by the church, verse 5. There is power in united prayer. Jesus said, if 2 of you agree on earth concerning anything that they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. And you can find that in Matthew 18:19. Does this mean if two people agree on something, like a Rolls Royce, for example, that God will give it to them? Not necessarily. The idea here is that two people praying the same God-given burden, sure of His will, and in agreement with the Spirit of God and with each other. In short, don't go it alone. Find other believers at your church, in your ministry, your fellowship, who can pray with you. Because, we need each other. Because God answers prayer. God answered my prayer in a big way. In fact, He completely reversed the situation in my life. Acts 12 opens with James dead, Peter in prison, and Herod triumphing. It closes with Herod dead, Peter free, and the Word of God triumphing. You see, it is not over until it's over. So, what situation are you facing this morning? Is it a personal crisis? A relationship? Do you have a loved one who isn't a believer? Are you facing an urgent financial need this morning? Now is not the time to give up. As the early church recognized, this was the time to double down. The psalmist said, "From the end of the earth I will cry to you. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead that is higher than I." In Psalm 61:2. Are you overwhelmed this morning? Some of you might be. Though all doors may remain closed, one door is always open. That is the door to the heaven to start praying to God. Call me at 844-405-HELP. Together we can help each other take our lives back. Be good to yourselves and always be good to each other. I used to call it email. Instead of email, reach out by email. Drop to your knees and ask God this morning, right now, for guidance and direction. And you can always call me at 844-405-HELP, because we can pray together, we can talk together, we can share stories together, and we can speak of our Almighty God together. May God bless each and every one of you watching or listening to me on the radio, and take good care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.